Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brad Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680, or you can email me at dyslexicgeniushurt@gmail.com. What I'm discussing today is prepping for nickel work. Some of this has come up online. Well, first, what I'm going to show you is this Edison crank has been fully re-nickeled. And that's about what it looked like when I started. You can see the old nickel has come off and it's rusted out. And in previous videos, I said you can grind the end and punch them out. Well, sometimes they don't want to come out. And that's what I'm going to discuss about. What you need to do is find out exactly where the hole has been drilled. And you can see the outline of the hole barely here. I set it up in my vise like this. And I put a C-clamp in here, like I have over here, to hold it in place. And I very carefully try to find the center. You're not going to find the dead center, but I very carefully find the center. Then, after I find the center and I make a center punch, I use this little drill bit. And this is called a centering drill. You have on a lathe, a milling machine, you have a center drill that presets the hole. Then you can drill straight. Well, this does the same job. And after I set everything up in my drill press here, with a piece of wood, I lock it down. Then I use my centering drill. That's what they're called. Then I get the smallest drill I have, and I drill this. Then I go to the next size. And I got to about 3/8 here. And what happens, if you can see this on camera, it literally will drill it out and it'll pop right off.
And if you don't have a drill press?
If you don't have a drill press, you're going to have to send this to somebody to have them do this for you if you want to save your crank. Because the reproduction cranks are like $45 and repos and up or more. By the time I'm done, like with this crank, I have $20 in it with nickeling, and it looks brand new. You also want to protect these threads, and any threads on a phonograph that you're going to nickel plate, you need to tape off the threads. And I screw this in. I will clean this up with simple green a little bit, get it off, because they're going to wire it here and they're going to dunk it. But you need to know exactly what parts show and what parts don't and where the threads are. You need to tape these threads off because those are going to fill up with fresh nickel. Like on this Victor 4 crank, you can see here the way it looked originally. But this is all the body sweat, hand sweat, and it just deteriorates because they nickeled. This was bare steel and they nickeled straight on. On this terrible crank, I'm going to have my plater copper plate first. He'll strip all the old nickel off, polish, copper plate, then nickel plate.
Why?
Because that's going to fill up the pits that you find that have pitted the metal.
The rust.
From the rust. I did that on this one.
Copper first, then?
Copper, I did this copper first to cover up the rust.
It covered it up? Or
It covers it up. They copper plate, they pull it out, they polish it out, make sure it's smooth, then they nickel plate, then they polish again. And this way you don't have rust marks in your plating.
Is the rust still there?
The rust isn't there. After they put it in the acid bath that rips off all the old nickel, the rust goes away, trust me. You have to understand, this is over 100 years old. This is what happens when you do this. A lot of people think, oh, I should have this dull nickel plated. No. Originally, they were shiny and they were bright. They were not chrome plated. Understand this? I'm going to say this again. They were not chrome plated. They were nickel plated. And this is the prepping for nickel work. You know, this hobby's a lot of fun, and that's my tip for the day.